Hello and welcome to Inglés con Raul. In this video, you will listen to an English history. The level is A2. So, the language is simple and clear. Relax, listen carefully, and enjoy the history. You don't need to repeat, just listen and follow the history. Let's begin. The history. Emma lives in a small town near the sea. Emma lives in a small town near the sea. She works in a bookstore and likes quiet days. She works in a bookstore and likes quiet days. Every morning she wakes up at 7, drinks coffee and walks to work. Every morning she wakes up at 7, drinks coffee and walks to work. Emma enjoys simple things. Emma enjoys simple things. Emma likes reading, listening to music and watching the ocean in the evening. She likes reading, listening to music and watching the ocean in the evening. One day, something changed. That afternoon, Emma finishes work early. That afternoon, Emma finishes work early. She feels tired but happy. She feels tired but happy. The weather is warm and the sky is clear. The weather is warm and the sky is clear. She decides to walk home slowly. She decides to walk home slowly. When she arrives home, she puts her bag on the table and sits on the sofa. When she arrives home, she puts her bag on the table and sits on the sofa. She checks her phone. She checks her phone. There is a new message. There is a new message. The message is from an unknown number. The message is from an unknown number. It says, hello, are you still looking for answers? Hello, are you still looking for answers? Emma feels confused. Emma feels confused. She types back. She types back. Sorry, who is this? Sorry, who is this? No answer. No answer. Emma waits. Emma waits. A few seconds later, another message appeared. A few seconds later, another message appears. Meet me at the old cafe near the beach at 7 p.m. Meet me at the old cafe near the beach at 7 p.m. Emma's heart beats faster. Emma's heart beats faster. She does not remember looking for answer. She does not remember looking for answer. She does not know this person. She does not know this person. She thinks for a moment. She thinks for a moment. This is strange, she says. This is strange, she says. But she feels curious. But she feels curious. At 6:30, Emma puts on her jacket and leaves her house. At 6:30, theory, Emma puts on her jacket and leaves her house. The sun is starting to go down. The sun is starting to go down. The streets are white. The streets are white. She walks toward the beach. She walks toward the beach. The old cafe is small and almost empty. The old cafe is small and almost empty. Only one table is outside. Only one table is outside. A man is sitting there. A man is sitting there. He looks at Emma and smiles. He looks at Emma and smiles. Emma, he asked. Emma, he asked. Yes, she says slowly. Yes, she says slowly. Do I know you? Do I know you? No, the man says. No, the man says. But I know you. But I know you. Emma feels nervous. Emma feels nervous. She sits down. She sits down. My name is Daniel, the man says. My name is Daniel, the man says. I used to live here. I used to live here. Emma looks at him. Emma looks at him. Why did you message me? She asked. Why did you message me? She asked. Daniel takes a deep breath. Daniel takes a deep breath. Because you found something, he says. Because you found something, he says. Emma is surprised. Emma is surprised. I didn't find anything, she says. I didn't find anything, she says. Daniel looks at her carefully. Daniel looks at her carefully. 2 weeks ago, he says. 2 weeks ago, he says. You bought an old book at your bookstore. You bought an old book at your bookstore. Emma remembers. Emma remembers. Yes, she says, it was very old. Yes, she says, it was very old. The book was mine, Daniel says. I lost it years ago. That book was mine, Daniel says. I lost it years ago. Emma feels uncomfortable. Emma feels uncomfortable. I'm sorry, she says, I didn't know. I'm sorry, she says, I didn't know. Daniel smiles. Daniel smiles. It's okay, he says, but inside the book there is a letter. Emma thinks. Emma thinks. Yes, she says, there was a letter inside. Yes, she says, there was a letter inside. Daniel nods. Daniel nods. That letter is important, he says. Emma feels nervous again. That letter is important, he says. Emma feels nervous again. What is it about? She asked. What is it about? She asked. Daniel looks at the sea. Daniel looks at the sea. It's about a promise, he says. A promise I never finished. It's about a promise, he says. A promise I never finished. Emma does not know what to say. Emma does not know what to say. Daniel continues. Daniel continues. That letter was for someone special, he says, but I was afraid. That letter was for someone special, he says, but I was afraid. Emma understands. Emma understands. Do you want it back? She asked. Do you want it back? She asked. Daniel shakes his head. Daniel shakes his head. No, he says, I want you to keep it. No, he says, I want you to keep it. Emma is surprised. Why? She asked. Emma is surprised. Why? She asked. Daniel smiles softly. Daniel smiles softly. Because sometimes he says stories are not finished. Because sometimes he says stories are not finished. They continue with new people. They continue with new people. They sit in silence for a moment. They sit in silence for a moment. The sky becomes dark. The sky becomes darker. Emma stands up. I should go, she says. Emma stands up. I should go, she says. Daniel nods. Thank you for coming, he says. Daniel nods. Thank you for coming, he says. Emma walks home slowly at home. She opens the old book again. Emma walks home slowly at home. She opens the old book again. She reads the letter. She reads the letter. It talks about fear, love, and courage. It talks about fear, love, and courage. Emma closes the book. She smiles. Emma closes the book. She smiles. That night, Emma writes in her notebook. That night, Emma writes in her notebook. Some messages come at the right time. Some stories are never really finished. Some messages come at the right time. Some stories are never really finished. She turns off the light. She turns off the light. Outside the sea is calm. Outside the sea is calm. Emma sleeps peacefully. Emma sleeps peacefully. Thanks for listening. Stories help you learn English naturally. Listen again and enjoy the language. See you in the next video.